The lifeless bodies of a man and a woman were found on a street in Lima, Peru. The horrific discovery, the result of a cruel plot full of grudge and greed, was made in the early morning of April 3, 2018, when residents of Caraballo, a district in the province of Lima, were shocked by the shocking discovery of two corpses in the middle of the street. The victims were identified as Samuel Mifflin, 75, and his wife Irma Piralta, 42. Both victims had their hands tied and had various injuries. Police immediately realized that the laughter had occurred after the couple had been subjected to brutal violence. As forensic examination showed, they had been beaten and tortured, including with electric shocks, and then strangled to death. It is known that Irma and Samuel had begun their relationship 7 years before the murders. They were married and lived with the woman's daughter. The 70-year-old man had previously had 2 long-term relationships, the first of which produced his eldest daughter. A few years later, he fell in love with a woman named Isabel Diaz. The couple lasted a long time, and as a result of this union, Samuel had a son, Jack. Isabel was 56 years old at the time of the events. She was into bodybuilding and participated in various competitions in this field. Jack seems to have inherited his mother's passion for this kind of sport. He was 35 years old, 175 centimeters tall, and was studying at a weight training college. There, he participated in difficult physical competitions, which he often won. A video recorded in 2011 during one of these sporting events shows Jack celebrating his victory with his partner, daughter, and father. It is also known that the man never missed an opportunity to film himself exercising, singing, and showing off his tattooed body. He was described in various Peruvian media as a gym addict and a man with delusions of grandeur. Jack lived in the United States for some time, where he published videos with training exercises. He was convicted in this country of violence, robbery, and resisting arrest. He was actually imprisoned in Curgo, Floridine, Peru before the murder of his father. Although in some videos it could be seen that Samuel and Jack had a good father-son relationship, in 2015 it began to get heated. The conflicts between them resulted in a house that belonged to Samuel, but which Jack claimed as his own. Neighbors of this house reported to the media, as well as to the authorities, that they did not see a very violent person there. This is especially true for Samuel. The multi-story building is located on United States Street, and Samuel rented out rooms in it, which provided him with a good income. Jack kicked his father out of this house several times. There is even a video showing how during an argument Samuel's stairs collided. This happened because the father no longer managed the property, and all the money from the rent was supposed to go to Jack. After analyzing this whole situation with the quarrels, the police were able to determine a possible motive. Another thing that surprised the police was that Jack was not worried about the disappearance of his father and his new wife. Only the eldest daughter, who lived with them, noticed that something strange was happening and asked for help from other family members, including Jack, to go to the police and report the couple missing. It was only at the end of the day that she managed to go to the police station with her relatives, but by that time the couple's bodies had already been found. So the officers did not register a missing persons report and simply told them the terrible news. After the relatives identified the body, the prosecutor's office ordered a search of the house, which they had to enter by force. They found Jack and his partner Katherine, 30, inside the house. The two were immediately taken to the police station. After a second inspection of the scene, the police found Jack and Isabel's mother, despite his telling them that she was out of the country. During the search of the house on the second floor, detectives found bloody clothes and various objects, which were seized. Everything indicated that they tried to hide all the evidence at the moment when the police were already at the door of the house. Several surveillance camera recordings and witness statements confirmed that Jack, Katherine, and Isabel are the main suspects. The prosecution requested 9 months of pre-trial detention, only for Jack and his mother, as alleged participants in the father of the murder, aggravating circumstances, and the murder and aggravating circumstances. It was also proposed to keep in custody as an accomplice the police officer Milano Pandura, who at the time was a partner of Isabel Diaz. Milano was thus arrested by his own comrades and taken to prison. At first, the 3 defendants denied their involvement in the crime, but Jack's partner gave one of the key testimony in this case. She was originally from Venezuela and said that Jack and his mother Isabel had planned everything carefully, and that Milano Pandura had given them the chain that had not been used to strangle the couple, as well as the taser that they had used to torture them. Katherine commented that she had been present during the crime, but had tried to stay away because she did not want to have anything to do with the situation, nor did she want to witness anyone's death. But Jack and Isabel had forced her to watch, and in addition, after the couple's murder, she had been asked to put away some of the things they had used. Katherine also said that Isabel had been the mastermind behind the entire operation. She had learned this after overhearing a conversation between mother and son a few hours before the horrific crime. In that conversation, Jack had told Isabel that he should think very carefully about what she was doing, and Isabel told him that if he didn't want to participate, then it was okay. One way or another, she will do it herself. After this statement, Katherine was released. She also detailed that Jack and his mother used other tools in their crime, such as chains, gloves, shackles, and padlocks. The only thing Katherine asked was that her partner not know about her testimony, because, according to her, he was a very violent man, and she was very afraid of him. Thanks to Katherine's statement and the police investigation, the prosecution was able to create a timeline of what they believed happened on April 2, 2018, in the home of Samuel and Irma. At 10 a.m., Jack, Isabel, and Katherine got inside, breaking several chains that the couple used for protection. Once inside the house, they made sure to wear gloves on their hands. They did not want to leave a trace and wanted to hide their presence so that the authorities would not suspect them. Katherine said that when they entered the house, they realized that Irma was alone, and Jack decided that she would be the first victim. They beat the woman unconscious, and then dragged her into one of the bathrooms. Once she came to, Jack and Isabel began torturing her, first with the electric shocker Milania had given them, and then with various devices they had brought with them. They then proceeded to take her life by strangling her with a chain. Katherine then attempted to leave the scene, but Jack forced her to stay. He told her that she had to clean up all the blood and gave her various cleaning products. The woman commented that it was about an hour and a half before Samuel arrived at the house. The man was also attacked by Jack and Isabel. He put up a little more resistance, but in the end, he was unable to stop the horrible fate that awaited him. The investigation also revealed that a taxi driver helped the criminals get rid of the bodies. The authorities conducted several tests for limonol in the couple's home, as well as in the car of the taxi driver who allegedly helped them. All the bloodstains found at the crime scene confirmed Katherine's version. During the first hearing, where all this was revealed, Jack admitted that he had indeed killed Samuel and Irma, but that he had done it because he was very angry with his father, since he had treated him badly during the years they lived together. He also claimed that his father had treated his mother badly and therefore did not want to see him. Jack begged for Isabel's life, even getting down on his knees and saying that his mother and her partner Milano were good people. He also called his father and his wife devils, who did not deserve to live. Isabel, who initially claimed to be the culprit of the murders, changed her story after her son's testimony and sought psychiatric help for Jack, claiming that he had been under intense emotional pressure from the victims and that he had not planned the crime. A Peruvian police officer who was in a relationship with Isabel pleaded not guilty, explaining that the woman had asked him for the chains and padlocks as a favor, and that he thought she needed them for Jack's motorcycle, and denied witnessing or knowing about the murder. As for the taxi driver, identified as Juan Carvas, he was a neighbor of Jack and his mother. The man said that Jack had asked him for a favor. That day, he had put some packages in the back seat of the car and asked him to take him to a certain place. Juan claimed that he did not know what was in the packages. He also said that after Jack left the bodies on the side of the road and got back into the car, Isabel took out 2 bottles of beer and made a toast. They both looked very happy and calm. At the end of the trial, in August 2019, Jack Mifflin and his mother Isabel Diaz were sentenced to 35 years in prison, and police officer Milano, Isabel's partner at the time, was sentenced to 25 years in prison. Katherine was removed from the investigation at the time. However, in 2021, Milanjo Pandura was released due to a sentence error that stated that he was convicted as the main accomplice to the crime, father of the murder, when he did not meet this qualification. His lawyers appealed and the entire trial collapsed. Milanjo was found not guilty, but he was ordered to await a retrial. Upon learning of the decision, the man said that justice had prevailed and he was sure that he would never return to prison. Irma's sister Sonia expressed her helplessness and anger at the decision, believing that justice had somehow harmed them. She said Milanjo was present the day Isabel Diaz wanted to evict Samuel and Irma from the house. But his presence was not to prevent the eviction, but to protect his partner, since they were already in a serious relationship at the time. Samuel's eldest daughter said in an interview that her father was killed out of egoism and claimed that the killers were incapable of working or doing anything for themselves. She claimed that for her, Isabel was the organizer of the crime, and Jack was just her pawn. The girl also added that Jack once told her that his mother wanted to kill her father and take all the money he had. She based her claim that Isabel planned it all and brainwashed Jack on the fact that her half-brother always said that he loved his father very much. And after the double murder, she said that she could not understand how he could do such a thing. What do you think about this story? Write your opinion in the comments.